Hi guys, this is Sai Kumar Kurtiwada. In this video, we will learn about a creation of a login form using dynamic JavaScript DOM elements and by using document API. So let me quickly jump into Visual Studio Code. So here I'll create a function. Let me name it as dynamic UI or a login form. So inside this login form, I'll try to create all the HTML elements dynamically and I'll append this dynamic data into our HTML. If you see our HTML, you don't have any content in the HTML. Let me go to the JS and let me create one div first. So let me use const div element is equal to document dot create element of a div. So I can use a create element method of a document API and I can create a div element. For this div element, let me use div element dot set attribute. I'm mentioning an ID for this attribute as div element ID. So my div element is created and now let me create const paragraph element. Para element is equal to document dot create element of I want to create a paragraph where this paragraph should have an inner HTML with login as a label, and also let me create paragraph dot let me use style dot display is equal to flex. And now let me create one more property of style attribute dot after display I want to use justify content equal to center. I want to move this content to the center of the page. And also let me use const input element is equal to document dot create element of one input field, and for this input field let me use a placeholder is equal to enter username and input input element dot id is equal to username. I'm giving an username underscore id, and let me give input element dot type equal to text. I want to give a format called as text format. And now let me create a password element equal to document dot create element of input element, and let me give password element dot placeholder is equal to enter password, and password element dot id is equal to password underscore id, and password element dot type equal to password. So my password element is created, and then let me create a button const btn element equal to document dot create element of I want to create a button element, and let me use btn element dot inner html is equal to login, and then btn element dot id is equal to btn underscore id, btn element dot type is equal to I can use something like button itself. And now I have created all the individual elements. All these individual elements should be inside my div elements. So let me use a append child. If you want to know about the append child and create elements, please watch my previous video for better understanding. Div element dot append child of first child is I want to use paragraph para element, and then after the para element I want to append child of I can give input element which is username, and then div element dot append child of password element, and then div element dot append child of btn element. Let me save this, and all this div element I want to append to my document body. So document dot body dot append child of div element. Let me save this, go here, and let me reload. So nothing is shown because we wrote a function but we are not calling anywhere. Whenever the script loaded I will call this dynamic UI. Let me save this, go here and reload. So you got something like login, enter username, enter password and login, but they are not in a actual format. So what we can do is just inspect this, and now to the center of the screen I made this login. So instead of that, first make this div as width 18 rem, the width of the card, and then height as auto. So I have used this particular class, and let me use a border of 1 pixel solid black or gray. Let me use gray. So now we have created a gray color, and I'm using a border radius of 5 pixel. Enter, and let me copy this class and create this class. So go to the HTML and create a style tag, or if you want to create a separate file, it's up to us. We can create even a separate class. For now I'm creating in the styles tag. So let me use dot div element open close, and now I can use div element. Let me make it as hyphen element, or let me make more readable container, and let me use this div container on top of this div element. So let me use div element dot set attribute, or you can use something like add class list to dot add of. I can add this one, div container. Let me save this and HTML save. Go here and let me reload. It works the same way. So now I have created my login. Now what I want to do is I want to create some padding for this div, and then I want to make this aligned. So let me go here and inside the div itself create a padding of 20 pixel. So now the padding has been created, but 20 pixel is more. So let me make it as 10 pixel. And now let me go to the padding and add the padding here with 10 pixel, 10 pixel. Save this and reload. You got the padding, and after this padding I want to use an input field, but this input field is not 100%. So let me make this width as 100%, and now the width is 100% here. And then I can use something like margin bottom 10 pixel, so it moved a bit. And I can use these two elements same on the password as well as button. So let me go here and use one more thing called as dot username hyphen container open close, paste here, and I can use the same username container for both input element dot class list dot add of. I'm adding a class to this particular input element, and this is my class name, and I don't use dot selector. Let me copy the same thing and paste for password. Here you can use something like password element. Save this and go to the HTML, save this, go here and reload. So now both are perfectly all right. Now if you see here, we got something like a width of 100% I am using, but if I am using a padding on this, it is exceeding my padding value. Instead of using 100% for width, let me use 95% or go with 98%. So it works the same way. Like here there is a equal gap between these two. So let me use 98%. Let me go here and change these to 98%. Now it will not exceed your actual content. If you go here and it is exceeding maybe 1%, so you can even make it to 97% and check this how it is looking. If you see 97% is working as expected, let me use 97 here, save this. And also this login button, let me go to the button, and this button, it is on the left side. Just I want to move that particular login button onto the right side, so I can use something like display flex, and then I can use justify content, and or just use like we are not able to move this because the button element does not have any div. So instead of the direct button element, let me create one div element for this button. So const btn container, let me create a container element that is equivalent to your document dot create element of a div element. And then this button container, let me add a style dot display equal to flex. I can add in any way. You can add either a class or you can add directly like this. Button container dot style dot justify content is equal to, let me use end, and then this button element before pushing into the actual div element. Let me push this into our button container dot append child of button element, and this button container should be pushed into our main div. Let me save this and go here. Let me reload. So now it is in the corner. So this is how you can create your whole login page. So this is how you can create your login page, and when the user enters the value here and click on the login button, a event has to be triggered. So how to trigger that event and what is event handlers in JavaScript, how to handle that events over the JavaScript dynamically as well as statically from the HTML content, we'll see in the upcoming videos. Please stay tuned for this series, and we'll completely focus on this series for next upcoming days. And also, I want to let you know about TechZet. TechZet is a platform on Medium where you can learn all the backend stuff. Mainly, it is focused on the Adobe Experience Management, Magento, as well as OSGI, along with the basics of Java. And you can see the Sling framework completely. So just have a click on the link below in the description and have a look on this Medium blog. If you like, please like, share, follow Medium blog. If you like my video, like, share, subscribe to my channel for more updates. Signing off. Thank you.